I am 99 years old, and I wake up every morning surprised that I did. That feeling hits me before my feet touch the floor. Not gratitude, not relief, just surprise. Like I missed a memo I was supposed to get decades ago. My name is Walter Green. I was born in 1927 in Ohio, in a house that smelled like coal smoke and boiled coffee. I've lived long enough to watch the world change itself over and over. Cars got faster, phones got smaller, people got louder, then quieter again. And me? I stayed mostly the same. That's the problem. The first regret I can remember didn't feel like regret at the time. It felt like being responsible. I was 18 when my father died. Heart gave out in the driveway, hand still on the hood of his truck. One minute he was there, the next he wasn't. No warning, no goodbye. I told myself I had to grow up fast. That's what men did. I skipped college and took a job at the steel mill. The pay was steady, the work was loud. It gave me an excuse not to think too much. I thought that was strength. I married Mary when I was 23. She laughed with her whole face. You could hear her coming down the hall before you saw her. I loved her, I really did. I just didn't know how to show it without working harder. Every regret I carry started with a sentence like that. We had 2 kids, first a boy, then a girl. I remember holding my son for the first time. He was red and screaming and small. I remember thinking, I don't want to mess this up. That thought followed me for the rest of my life. I worked more hours, took overtime, picked up weekend shifts. I told myself I was protecting them, building something solid. Mary would stand at the kitchen sink when I came home late. Dishes already done, lights low. "You're tired?" she'd say. I'd nod. That was the conversation. I missed my son's first baseball game, then his second, then a lot after that. I told myself I'd catch the next one. There was always a next one. My daughter used to sit on the stairs and wait for me to come home. I know because Mary told me later. I never saw it myself. That part hurts the most. When I was 35, I was promoted to supervisor. Bigger paycheck, less sleep, more stress. I started snapping at people, at home, at work. I didn't notice it happening. Nobody ever does. Mary once asked me, "Are you happy?" I laughed. Actually laughed. "Happiness isn't the point," I said. I can still see the way her face changed. Not angry, just tired. That was the moment. I didn't know it then, but that was a moment. One of the big ones. The kind you don't get back. I kept going. Years passed like that. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. The kids grew, voices changed, doors closed more often. I told myself teenagers were like that. I told myself I was doing fine. Regret doesn't knock, it waits. My son left home at 18. Didn't say much, just packed and went. I stood in the driveway and watched his car disappear. I remember thinking, that went fast. I didn't chase the thought. My daughter stayed closer, but even with her, there was distance. Conversations stayed shallow. Weather, work, schedules. I didn't know how to cross the space I'd built. When Mary got sick, everything slowed down. Cancer. The words sat heavy in the room, like furniture you couldn't move. I sat by her bed and held her hand. For the first time in years, there was nothing else to do. She looked at me one night and said, "You don't have to be strong all the time." I didn't know what to say. She died 6 months later. I cried in the shower so no one would hear. I cried in the car. I cried at night when the house was too quiet, but I cried most for the man I'd been while she was alive. That regret doesn't fade, it sharpens. After she was gone, the house felt wrong, too big, too empty. I ate, standing up, slept on one side of the bed. The kids called more often at first, then less. Life moved on for them. It didn't for me. I retired at 65. I thought I'd feel relief. Instead, I felt useless. All the things I'd skipped for work were gone, and work was gone too. That's when regret really showed its face. I tried to reconnect. Awkward phone calls, invitations that felt forced. I didn't know how to talk about anything real. I wanted to say, "I'm sorry, I wasn't there." But the words stuck. Pride is a quiet destroyer. It doesn't shout. It just keeps your mouth closed. Years kept stacking up. Friends died. Neighbors moved. My body slowed down. I started forgetting small things, names, dates, where I put my glasses. But I never forgot the moments I should have done better. That's the cruel part. At 80, I fell and broke my hip. Hospital again. Different nurses. Same white walls. My son visited, sat stiff in the chair. "How are you?" he asked. "I'm okay," I said. That was a lie. And a habit. He left after 20 minutes. We hugged. It felt polite. After that, I stopped pretending I'd fix things later. Later wasn't coming. I moved into assisted living at 92. Small room, neutral colors, my life reduced to what fit in a few boxes. Photographs took up most of the space. I started talking to them, out loud, apologizing to faces that couldn't answer. Every night, the same thoughts came back, different order, same weight. Why didn't I slow down? Why didn't I listen? Why did I think there would always be more time? Regret doesn't scream. It whispers over and over. Patient, relentless. Now I sit by the window most days. I watch people walk past. Couples arguing, kids dragging backpacks, men rushing somewhere important. I want to stop them, shake them, tell them something. But I don't, because I know how it sounds. When you're young, you think old people are just talking. You don't hear the warning, you hear noise. I understand that now. My hands shake when I write this. My eyes get tired. I lose my place sometimes, but I keep going because this might be the last thing I do that matters. I don't regret working hard. I don't regret providing. I regret confusing busy with meaningful. I regret loving quietly when the people I loved needed to hear it out loud. I regret waiting to become the man I thought I had time to be. The nurses are kind. They call me sweetheart and sir. They don't know me. That's okay. Most people don't. My son visits once a month now. My daughter calls every Sunday. We talk about safe things, weather, health, news. Sometimes I almost say it. Sometimes I don't. The day will come soon when I won't have the chance. I feel that in my bones. When that day comes, I hope they remember me kindly, even if I don't fully deserve it. If I could do one thing over, just one, I wouldn't change jobs or houses or money. I'd sit at that kitchen table longer. I'd go to the games. I'd answer the question when someone asked if I was happy. I'd speak before silence became my habit. I'm 99 years old, and this is the truth I live with. Regret doesn't come from what you fail at. It comes from what you never try to give.